Our next poet up is Cecilia Hutchinson. Cecilia began attending the PoetWithin class in April 2007 and has found inspiration coming to class to write and recite with the Tuesday night poets. For Cecilia, poetry expresses inner feelings that would otherwise be left unspoken. She has a natural facility with words, tells a captivating story, and sometimes even breaks into song. Cecilia.
No, it's okay. That's great. I think it should be fine. Yeah, lovely. You want me to wait? No. Okay. Okay. So I'm Cecilia, but I'm not going to break into song. Don't worry. I have a couple of, well, most of my poems actually are about Newfoundland because that's where I grew up. And so the first one is, I'm not quite sure, Jade, what you called this poem where you gave us the picture and the workshop poem, right? And my father had a boat called the Isabelle Suzanne, and it was his livelihood. The Isabelle Suzanne. Sun dancing on glistening water matched the music in our souls. The day we searched the horizon, coaxing Dad's new boat into view. Anticipation sharpening into excitement, we watched our father guide her to the wharf. 6 years she served him well, bearing covered cargo into port, until, tempting fate, she plowed through cut-glass ice. Her bow was broken. Water overflowed her deck. She sank without a trace. And after that particular boat sank, another one took her place, of course, and it was called the Senator Penny. And this is a narrative poem about the Senator Penny, and I'll just read it. It's called Nurse and the Icy Bay. Come gather round, I'll tell you a tale about a nurse from Scotland Isle who settled with wife and family and lived in Newfoundland style. Nurse Stewart was his name, though many called him doctor. He was the only medic to consult when illness came out of the locker. Once a week, Nurse Stewart traveled down the coast on the Senator Penny to hold a clinic for outporters whose needs were various and many. A special room on the boat was reserved for sick family members to gather to ask nurse for advice on colds, viruses, and flus, and all sorts of personal matters. One winter day, they sailed to Grey River, an outport at the bottom of a bay. The boat was forced to stop offshore, so thick was the ice that day. Nurse Stewart knew he wouldn't be able to hold the clinic on board, and to go ashore was impossible, too dangerous by all reports. But the men of Grey River walked out on the ice and shouted to nurse on the boat, saying, "Doctor, walk with us to shore. We'll keep you safe, have no doubt." Nurse said, "No way will I walk on the bay, no matter how safe you might think it. I'll stay on the boat and come back next week. The ice is too treacherous to risk it." So much did the people want a clinic, they thought up a wonderful plan to pull the nurse over the ice, ensure he made it safely to land. And that's what they did. Those rivermen tied a dory to sled, pulled it over surface icy. Nurse climbed down a ladder to the craft, though he thought the whole plan was quite dicey. He sat on a tot in the dory, his doctor's kit safe on his knees. Trepidation he felt without doubt as men pulled him to shore in the breeze. Nurse held clinic in an outport home while townspeople gathered round, so pleased he had come ashore to serve them in their town. At clinic's end, the dory prepared, nurse sat once again on the tot and was pulled back out to the senator after the people had thanked him a lot. This tale seems far-fetched, but I know that it's true, for nurse's wife told me with pride of that day on the ice when her husband trusted the men who gave him the ride. While he's been dead now many years, nurse's stories live on in these tales of his service to the outports he served by the people who remember him well. Thanks. I guess it's too bad my father didn't anchor outside the bay because he lost the one boat. The next one is called Fairyland, and of course, again, it's a place in Newfoundland. And it's really a visual poem, but I'll read it. It's free verse. We'll go to Fairyland, we said. Start at the land awash, where waves roll ashore, then begin the climb on the meandering road on the side of the slope, where water laps on the beach. Continue to climb until we reach the lighthouse at the top of the hill. At the top of the hill is where the fun begins. Lighthouse overlooks the long stretch of water. We order a picnic, sandwiches, lemonade, sit on blankets, look out over rocks, sea and icebergs, breathe in salt sea air, feel refreshed. Time stands still. But too soon, it's time to go. We pack dishes, pull on socks and shoes, gather together bits and pieces, begin the walk back through bracken, trees, down the slope, overlooking the sea. We come to a bridge, look back up the road to the top of the hill. It looks steep from where we stand, on flat land, waves rolling ashore. And another one, the same day we went to Fairyland, we also went to a deserted outport. It was absolutely beautiful. This is called Passage. Town deserted, trickle of brook carries within it sounds of fisher folk working amidst the joy of children's laughter. Not so long ago, houses stood on bare rock, lights in their windows welcomed boats home at the end of the day. Fishermen sailed their boats between narrows at the mouth of the bay, breathed sighs of relief to have landed their catch safely ashore for the day. Night fell, seasons passed, time raced along. Families moved away, lured by promises of easier times. Finally, the last family moved out, left the trickling brook with its memories of workday camaraderie and children's laughter echoing from the not-so-distant past. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Cecilia.